Hey guys, welcome to another lesson of learning Japanese. So in the previous video, we covered the te form, how to conjugate verbs into the te form, and I said in that video that we would be coming across the actual function of the te form in future videos. I did not expect it to come this soon, as in the video right after, but we're going to do just that in this video. We're going to learn how to use the te form plus the phrasing kudasai to mean please do this verb, and we're also going to learn how to use the te form plus the phrase kudasaimasenka to mean would you please do this verb. So yeah, I've pretty much given you the exposition, what we're going to cover from that one introduction. So we're going to jump right into the examples, and I'll continue to elaborate on what exactly we're trying to say here. So for our first example, we have the sentence Shashinをtotte kudasaimasenka. So let's break this sentence down. We have the first word, which is Shashin, which means photograph. We have the particle o right after that to denote it as the direct object. Then we have the te form of the word toru, which is to take. So we have totte, which means take, and right after we have the word kudasaimasenka, and this is basically, and we interpret kudasai as meaning please basically, and kudasai follows totte here to basically mean please take. And altogether what this sentence means is please take a photograph. But we also have the phrasing masenka after kudasai, which adds an extra degree of politeness to it, as well as the particle ka at the end, as if to ask, won't you please take a picture? And it translates into English pretty well because we have that pretty much exact phrasing. When we say won't you take a picture, it's much more polite than saying please take a picture, even though please take a picture is already quite polite. And furthermore into that, if we dropped kudasai and masenka altogether and we just had shashin o totte, that is literally saying take a picture, which is much more impolite than please take a picture and won't you please take a picture. So the dynamic works out pretty well, the relationship between Japanese and English here, so you do get a pretty vivid idea of what this grammar construct means. So shashin o totte kudasaimasenka translates to won't you please take a picture? And the sentence is pretty vague because you're not telling him what to take a picture of, but this is just for the example's sake. For our next example, we have the sentence Shizuka ni natte kudasai. So breaking this down, we have the first word Shizuka, which means quiet. We have the particle ni right after that to denote kind of a direction, as in the direction towards being quiet. We have the natte, which is the te form of the verb naru, which means to become. So this is basically saying, if this was just Shizuka ni natte, it's literally saying become quiet or be quiet. But we have kudasai right after, so it is please be quiet. Or if we want to make it more naturally English, we can say please quiet down. So yeah, that's how we use the combination of the te form of verbs and the phrasing kudasai, or the even more polite phrasing kudasaimasenka, to ask something of someone, to do this verb, to do this. But we also need to go further and learn how to say please do not do this verb, or please don't do this. So to do that, we're going to replace the te form of the verb with the negative nai form of the verb with the character de right after that. And we covered the nai form conjugation of verbs in the previous video, so if you need to freshen up on that, be sure to check out that video before you try to make sense of this, I guess, because it would be pretty hard to do that without knowing how to do the nai form. So yeah, let's just go into some examples to get a better idea of this. So we're going to basically just do a contrast of the previous examples. Instead of shashin o totte kudasai, which is please take a picture, we're gonna do shashin o toranaide kudasai. And this is please do not take pictures or do not take photographs. And we don't have to evaluate each word of the sentence again because it's 90% of the same basically. We have shashin o, that's the picture. Then we have toranaide, which is the verb toru in its nai form, which is toranai. Then we add the character de at the end, so it's toranaide, do not take. Then we have kudasai, which is making it polite still, because you still want to be polite even if you're telling someone not to do something, I imagine. So shashin o toranaide kudasai is please do not take pictures, please do not take any photographs, whatever. For our next example, we have the converse of the earlier one. Instead of Shizuka ni natte kudasai, we have Urusaku naranaide kudasai, which is please do not become noisy, or please don't get noisy. So let's break the sentence down since we have different words in this. We have Urusaku, which is the ku form of the adjective urasai. We're gonna do Urusaku instead of urasai because following it is the verb naru. And when you're saying something becomes an adjective, you have to change that into, if it's an e adjective, you have to change it into its ku form. And if it's a na adjective, you have to use the na adjective followed by the particle ni. We'll probably go more into that in another video. But Urusaku naru is to become noisy, and just know that it's the ku form there is there because it is followed by the verb naru. And next in the sentence we have naranaide, which is naru, but it's not in its plain form. It's in its negative nai form followed by the character de, as if to say do not become. And once again, that is followed by the phrasing kudasai. So altogether, urusaku naranaide kudasai is please do not become noisy. So yeah, that's how we do the asking someone to not verb. And there is the politeness throughout all of these examples. If you, for whatever reason, wanted to not be polite, you wanted to be more casual, then you could just drop all instances of kudasai or kudasaimasenka, and it would just be something like Urusaku naranaide, and that would be like you being pissed off and saying don't become noisy, stop being noisy or whatever. So yeah, that's how we do that, and